In this problem, you are about to draw the perspective view of a square prism. The dimensions of the same are being given, and the square prism is lying on the ground plane on one of its rectangular faces in such a way that one of its square faces is parallel to and 5 mm behind the picture plane. And the details about the station point as well as the central plane is also given. And here the central plane is given as towards right. So there should be sufficient space towards the right end of the page that you are drawing. So ensure that you are drawing towards the central portion and there is sufficient space towards the right. So the object is a square prism. That means that it is having two square faces and four rectangular faces. And it is said that it is resting on the ground plane. Okay. So the top view will be getting a rectangle. Why it is a rectangle? And the front view is a square. The front view is a square just because it is given that one of its square faces is parallel to and 5 mm behind the picture plane. In normal cases, for a square prism, the top view is a square as well as front view is a rectangle. But for this question, and it is as it is specified that one of its square faces is parallel to and 5 mm behind the picture plane, that indicates that on the picture plane you will be getting a rectangle. And therefore, or in other ways, you can tell that the top view in this question will be a rectangle and the front view will be a square. So initially, you need to draw the PPP line. Okay, this is the PPP line. After drawing the PPP line, you have to draw the rectangle. Okay, in the question it is stated that the one of the edges is 5 mm behind. Why you have taken 25? Just because one of its square faces is being told. Okay, one of its square faces is parallel to and 5 mm behind the picture plane. So from this point, from this line, you are taking 5 mm. Okay, then you are drawing a horizontal line that is parallel to PPP line, and then you are completing the rectangle. So this length is 25. This altitude is 35. So with that, you are completing the rectangle. And as it is a prism, you have to name it as ABCD, and in the bracket there you are having another opposite face, and for that you have to name it as E, F, G and H. Okay. Then the next step is to draw the EGP line, which is the step number 3. So from this top end you have to take 15 centimeters and 15 millimeters or 1.5 centimeters. Then you have to draw a horizontal line and you have to name it as EGP line. Okay, while you are marking, ensure that you are marking this PPP line as well as EGP line neatly so that both this comes in the same vertical line. Okay, so this has to be marked, and then you have to go into the step number 4, which is the front view of the object. The front view of the object is a square just because the square faces is parallel to the picture plane. Okay, so here a square will be coming, and here that means with the dimension 25. So you have to mark it correspondingly. ABCD edges will be coming in the top, and the EFGH edges, as it is coming in the brackets in the top view, those edges will be coming in the bottom point. Okay, so you have to mark E dash, bracket H dash and F dash, and in brackets G dash. And then you have to mark the central plane. In the question it is stated that the central plane is 30 mm away from the axis of the prism. So this is the axis of the prism. You have to mark it by using a chain line, and then you have to take 30 mm. You have to mark the dimension 30 mm, and you have to name the line as CP. Okay, after taking 30 mm, you have to draw a vertical line. While you are drawing vertical line, ensure that that is completely 90 degree. Okay, and then you have to name it as CP. Then the next step is to mark the top view of the station point and the front view of the station point. So initially you have to mark the top view of the station point. For marking the top view of the station point, in the question it is stated that the station point is located 30 mm in front of the picture plane. So this is the picture plane, and you have to take 30 mm in front. Okay, so on the CP line from the PP you have to take 3 centimeters, and then that point is marked as the top view of the station point. You can use small letter S for marking the same. Then you have step number 6, which is marking the front view of the station point. Okay, it is given in the question that the station point is also 40 mm above the ground plane. This is the ground plane that you are having. From the ground plane line and on the CP, you have to take 4 centimeters or 40 mm, and then you have to mark the point as S dash. Please use small letter S followed by dash. And that completes step number 5 as well as step number 6. Then the step number 7 is to draw the EHP line. EHP is a line that passes through S dash, and that is to be named as, what to say, named as EHP, or the elevation of the horizon plane. So this is to be named as EHP. Okay. And then you have to get into the step number 8 is to draw the visual rays in the top view. This is a top view. From S you have to draw towards all the corners of the rectangle. Then you are getting 4 corners. Okay. Then the step number 9 is to draw visual rays from all the points in the front view. So from S dash you have to draw towards 4 endpoints: number 1, number 2, number 3 and number 4. Then the step number 10 is to mark the intersection points. So the intersection points are to be marked in the PPP line. So this is the PPP line. We are getting 4 intersection points: number 1, number 2, number 3 and number 4. So these are the 4 intersection points, and from all these 4 intersection points you have to draw projection lines. Okay, while you are drawing projection lines, ensure that these projection lines are completely 90° to PPP line, as well as all these projection lines are parallel to each other. So for the safety matter of sake, please use roller scale. Okay, so this is the line from AE line. This is a visual ray that connects AE point. So from this point you have to draw vertical line. When that line intersects the S dash E dash line, it is capital E. When that line intersects S dash A dash line, that is capital A. Okay, so I will be telling one more line. This is the intersecting point of SD or SH. So from the intersecting point you are drawing a vertical line, so that will meet on S dash D dash line, and that will be capital D. That will be meeting on S dash H dash line, that will be capital H. Similarly, you have to mark all the 8 points. You will be getting 8 points: A, B, C, D followed by E, F, G, H. Then you have to mark the outside boundaries firstly. Okay, how you have to mark? You have to mark the outside boundaries. So while we are considering this end, okay, this is the outside boundary. So you have to draw AE. Then corresponding to this edge, the outside boundary is AD. So you have to mark AD. Corresponding to this particular edge, the outside boundary is DC. Then you are having a CG, FG and EF. So these are the outside boundaries. So you are getting the other points inside. You are getting 2 points inside. One is B as well as the other is H. So this is point B. Okay, this is point B. So when you are looking from the station point, this is S. The B point is very nearer to the observer. So B is being visible, and you have to check whether BA and BZ are visible. BA is this point that is visible. BZ is this line that is also visible. For the observer, this line as well as this line are completely visible. So you have to draw from B to meet the point A and from B to meet the point C. So you have completed drawing ABCD. Then you have to check whether H, which all lines will meet H. You know that there is a line from H towards G, and this is H and G. Okay. So HG, for the observer who is looking from here, HG is far away, HG is not visible. So you have to initially draw HG by using dotted lines. Then you have to look for HE. So from this point, from the observer's point, which is S, HE is a faraway point. You can only see this line as well as this line. This line is not visible. So HE is also to be drawn by using dotted lines. Then the next point is HD. So this is HD point for the observer. This is also a faraway point. So that is also to be drawn by using dotted lines. So that completes the perspective view of the object. You are getting the points completely, and there is one more line which is FB. Okay, FB. For this is FB line, BF. This is BF for the observer that is visible. So BF is also to be drawn by using thicker lines. So this is how the perspective view of a square prism looks like when the observer station point is towards the right of the object. Thank you.